Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get this started with going over the work for today's independent work. I'm going to share the screen to show you exactly what you should have been working on, and then we'll jump right into it. And then directly after, I'm going to show some strategies for, once again, for solving for an unknown number and solving for multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. So if you want to stay tuned after checking your work, you absolutely can. Let me start us off with showing what you should have done for today, okay? All right, so this is what you should have worked on for today, multiplied by multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. You needed to find each product for all of these questions from numbers 1 all the way through 12, okay? So all you had was 12 problems for today. I'm gonna flip my camera to my Elmo so you can see exactly what I have down on my paper that you might have down on yours as well, okay? All right, so taking a look at number 1, we have 4 times 60 equals we know 4 times 6 equals 24. So I need to add my 1 0 that I was given in the first problem, and it was 240 is your answer. Then your next one was 4 times 600. 4 times 6, you know, is 24. Add your zeros. You have 1, 2, 0, so 2 zeros in your answer. And then be sure to add your comma in the proper place, okay? All right, 4 times 6,000. We know 4 times 6, of course, is 24. You have 1, 2, 3 zeros, so you should have 1, 2, 3 zeros in your answer. And then make sure to add your comma after the 24 to make it 24,000. All right, number 2, we have 5 times 30, okay? 5 times 3, we know is 15. That's the first thing we put down. Then we have 1 0, so 1 0 in our answer, 150. 5 times 300, we know 5 times 3 equals 15. Add the 2 zeros, 1, 2. 1, 2 in your answer, so 1,500. Make sure your comma's in the proper place, of course, whenever you're working your way into thousands. 5 times 3,000, you have 5 times 3 equals 15. 1, 2, 3, 0, so 1, 2, 3 zeros in your answer. Number 3, 6 times 20. 6 times 2 equals 12. Add your 1 0 for that first one, so you have 120. 6 times 200, okay, you have 6 times 2, which equals 12. Then you have your 2 zeros, 1, 2 in your answer, and then that makes it 1,200, okay? 6 times 2,000. Now, 6 times 2 we know equals 12, so that's the first thing we put down. And then we have our 1, 2, 3 zeros, and our 1, 2, 3 zeros in our answer, okay? So our answer is 12,000. All right, moving to number 4. Number 4, we have 8 times 50, okay? Move this a little bit. 8 times 50 equals, we know 8 times 5 equals 40. Then we add our 1 0, which equals 400. 8 times 500, we know that 8 times 5 is 40. Then we have our first thing we put down is 40. And then we add our 2 zeros, 1, 2. So that makes it 4,000, okay? 8 times 5,000, we know that 8 times 5 is 40. That's the first thing we put down once again. Then we add our 1, 2, 3 zeros into our answer. And we make sure to put our comma in the proper place in between the 3 zeros, all right? And we have 40,000. Okay, number 5, make sure there we go. Okay, 3 times 9, we know equals 27. Add our 1 0, 270. 3 times 9, 27 once again. Add our 1, 2 zeros, and that makes it 2,700. 3 times 9, 27. And then we have 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3, and that makes it 27,000. Okay, in between those 3 zeros. Okay, whenever you have those 3 digits leading up to that place value of thousands, you know to put your comma there. Okay. Number 6, as it keeps being crooked. Okay, there we go. 2 times 7, we know equals 14. Okay, add that 1 0, 140. 2 times 7, once again, 14. 1, 2 zeros, 1, 2 in our answer, right? 1,400. 2 times 7, all right. And then we have 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. And then we have 14, excuse me. We have 14,000, okay? Now we're moving on. Number 7, we have 6 times 5. We know 6 times 5 equals 30. Slow it down. There we go. You know that 6 times 5 equals 30. Then when you go back into your problem, you have 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3 additional zeros in your answer. I know it can be a little tricky when you're given problems that already equal multiples of 10 that are simpler problems. But you have to remember to still add the extra zeros, okay? So here we had 6 times 5 equal 30, and then we had 3 additional zeros to add. We can't forget that, okay? And then we add our comma in the proper place, and that makes it 30,000, okay? Number 8, 4 times 7, which equals 28, okay? And we have 1, 2, 3 zeros, so 1, 2, 3 in our answer, which makes it 28,000. Next problem, 9 times 30. 9 times 3 equals 27. I know I have 1 0, so 1 and 0 in my answer, in my product, 270. Number 10, 2 times 5 equals 2 times 5 equals 10, excuse me. All right, and we have 2 zeros, 1, 2. And what do we do with those? What do we do with that if we have 3 zeros and we have 3 places going up into the thousands? We're gonna add our comma, which makes it 1,000, okay? Now we have 2 times 8,000, okay? 2 times 8 equals 16. We have 1, 2, 3, 0. So 1, 2, 3 in our answer, and then we add our comma to make it 16,000. Okay, number 12, we have 3 times 4 equals 12. And then we have 2 zeros, 1, 2. We add our comma, 1,200. All right, and that concludes all the answers for today's independent work. I'm going to review some strategies for solving unknown numbers with solving multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. If you would like to stick around, I'm also going to play a video, okay? All right, so I just wanted to go back on that solving for that unknown when still solving for multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. So taking a look at I have 4 examples here. I'm going to start with number 7, continuing from yesterday. So 60 times what equals 300? Now, in order to solve this, I need to figure out, without the zeros, what those would equal. Okay, so first of all, we know that it has to be at least 30 because we know that 3 can't be greater than 6, right? When we cover all the zeros. Okay, so we have to keep at least 1 0 still there. And then when we do 30 divided by what equals 6, or we can do 6 times what equals 30, and we know that equals 5. And notice that there's only 1 0 here, and there's already 1 0 next to the 6. So 60 times 5 equals 300. Or you could have done 30 divided by 5 equals 60, okay? Next one, when you're solving for multiples of 10, 100, 1,000, and you're solving as well for the unknown, what times 8 equals 24? Remember to cover that 0 because you are solving for what you haven't solved for yet, because you're still solving for the unknown number in the problem before you can get the answer with the 0 in it. Okay, so 24 divided by 8 equals what? Or what times 8 would equal 24? Okay, solving without that 0 once again. Okay, so 24 divided by 8 we know equals 3. Now notice there's a 0 in your problem. There's no 0 next to this 8. So there must be a 0 next to the 3, making it a 30. Okay, now moving along to the next one, we have 3 times what equals 90. So if I don't know 3 times what equals 90, I know that I need to figure out 9 divided by 3, or 9 divided by what equals 3. I just gave the answer away. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. We knew this right away, okay? Now, our answer would be 3, but not just 3 though, because we have 3 times 3, which equals 9, but 3 times 3 does not equal 90. So a 0 must have been added for a 0 to be added in the product in the answer for this problem. And we know that a 0 was added to this 3, okay? 3 times 30 equals 90, okay? Now our next one, we have what times 6 equals 360, okay? So taking a look, remember to cover that 0 and to use your inverse operation here and to go backwards. Now you can either think of multiplication or division in this case. So what times 6 would equal 36, or 36 divided by 6 equals what? We know 6 times 6 equals 36, but what times 6 would equal 360 to give that 0, to give that extra 0 in your answer, in your product? All right, and we know that would be 60. 60 times 6 equals 360, all right? And that concludes solving for the unknown at this time. I'm gonna share some more examples possibly tomorrow, especially with some word problems, so stay tuned. As of right now, I'm gonna play a multiply by 10 number rock video and you'll be on your way.